This is Swami Prabodhananda again, uh, and we are here to talk about Bhagavad Gita, and we are in the second chapter now. It's a Sankhya Yoga, that is the yoga of knowledge. And at the very outset, I welcome you all into this this discussion of Bhagavad Gita. So this is not a discourse that we are going to, you know, we are going to give some kind of spiritual discourse. We are trying to present Bhagavad Gita before you like a uh, story, so that you can listen to it carefully and you can understand it, and you can also uh, realize it. So before we start, let us pranam. Thank you very much, Shulika ji and Devashish Babu. Uh, Before we start, let me thank you all for the immense uh, encouragement, for the immense viewership, uh, and your support, your love and support. And we hope to continue this class of Bhagavad Gita, uh, and we hope to explore into the depth of knowledge which has been revealed through Bhagavad Gita to humanity. So before we start, as usual, let us meditate for some time, and then we start. Thank you very much. My throat is choking, so let me have some water. So welcome again. We are in the second chapter, and now we are exploring the ways by which we can attain the self. Lord Krishna, when he saw Arjuna completely devastated with completely devastated into the ocean of grief, so he started to deliver the knowledge of the self. And after delivering the knowledge of the self, that the self is infinite, the self is divine, the self is eternal, the self is birthless and deathless. And it's not that, it's not that, uh, you know it's your self is the, it's we are all individual selves. There is only one self, which is, manifested within every body, living being or non-living being. The self is manifesting through the living being and the non-living being. So after he talked about the self, then he started to elaborate about the ways by which one can attain self knowledge. Because knowledge, if not attained, knowledge if not attained, knowledge if not realized, then that is not knowledge, that becomes ignorance. So this knowledge has to be attained. And how to attain this knowledge? How to realize that I am the self? So Krishna gave us the way, the path of karma yoga. By karma yoga, we can attain self knowledge. Now, why did he choose karma yoga? He chose karma yoga because, as we think that karma yoga is supposed to be a completely different subject. Karma yoga is perceived to be completely different, different path. But it's not like that. Karma yoga is is complementary to jnana yoga. When we follow karma yoga, when we practice karma yoga, we come face to face with jnana yoga. We come face to face with the knowledge, and we realize the knowledge. So karma yoga is not a separate path. It is the path to attain self knowledge. So in our last classes, we had seen how Krishna had talked about the basics of karma yoga. First of all, he elaborated what is karma yoga, what are the benefits of karma yoga, and and what kind of mindset we need to approach karma yoga. The mindset that we need to approach karma yoga is one pointed. That is, we should all have one pointed sincerity, one pointed focus. When my focus is one pointed, that is, I am completely devoted. I have resolved myself into karma yoga so that I can realize the self. That is the only way by which I can practice karma yoga. My karma yoga will become perfect, and and subsequently I will realize who I am, what is my real nature. That is what I will realize. So when he started to talk about karma yoga, just to to make you refreshed about what we had already discussed. Like when he talked about karma yoga, he said that, see, karma yoga is something which is going to give you, or which is going to connect you with the infinite. You will be connected with the infinite. And if you perform, or if you practice a little bit of karma yoga in your life, then that will protect you from very big sufferings, tremendous sufferings that is there in your is waiting for you. So with the performance of a little bit of karma yoga in your life, you can avoid all these challenges from your life. And then he said, how to approach for karma yoga. He said karma yoga should be approached with one pointed intellect. Okay, it should be completely one pointed intellect. and and the things that he said was, one should be one should one with karma yoga, you will you will be enabled to separate the attributes from the knowledge. Because the knowledge that you receive from the master, the knowledge that that comes within your heart, your mind, is also is also amalgamated with attributes. So if you cannot separate the knowledge from attributes, then the knowledge remains ignorance. It does not work. It does not do any good to you. So while you can remove these attributes from the knowledge, then you see that you go beyond those attributes. You go beyond those attributes, and what is there beyond attributes? Beyond qualities. Qualities are are born from the nature. So when I go beyond qualities, I go beyond nature. So what is there beyond nature? It is the consciousness. It is the all pervading consciousness. It is the substratum of everything, of all phenomena. It is the substratum of all phenomena. It is the truth, the knowledge, and and infinity. And when you reach there, you see that you are that. It's not somebody else. The supreme entity is not somebody else. It is you yourself. It is yourself. So while we practice karma yoga, we connect with ourselves. And while we practice karma yoga, we are not aware the kind of result that it's going to bring. Now he talks about the basics of karma yoga. What is the basics of karma yoga? He says, while performing the karma, you need to remain unattached from the results of those karmas. Because while we perform any karma, we always tend to become attached to the results. We think about the results while we are engaged in any particular karma. When I'm doing something, when I'm into something, then I am also thinking about what I'm going to get in return. And this becomes a matter of bondage. This is bondage. Why do I get attached to the results? Because I think that I am the doer. I am not the doer at all. I am the observer of the doer. I'm the witness. I'm the witness of all the karmas which is performed, of all the actions which is performed. I'm the witness of everything. But because I get attached to the doership, because I get attached to the doership, the agentship, that is why I also get attached to the results of the actions. So how to get rid of why did Krishna say that you need to disassociate yourself from the results of the action? Because when you become disassociated from the results of your actions, that will enable you to disassociate yourself from the doer of those actions. And when you become disassociated from the doer of the actions, you become separate from the ego. You go beyond ego. And what is that which is beyond ego? It is the real I. It is my real essence. It is my real identity. It's my real nature. That is the real I. Because ego also is a I. But that I is the false reflection of the real I. It's not about, it's not even the reflection of the I. It is the false reflection of I. Falsely, by mistake, I recognize this as myself. By mistake, I recognize this as my individuality. But that is not my individuality. That is not my existence. My existence is beyond. So when I can disassociate myself from the doer of all karmas, I become separate from the ego. And when I become separate from the ego, that is the time when I connect with the self. I become the self. And this is how Karma Yoga connects us to the self. So he says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This is the first principle of Karma Yoga. That while you are, performing any action, you should remain separate from the results of those actions. Number 2, ma karma phala hetur bhurma. That is, the results of these actions should not compel you. The results of these actions should not inspire you to engage into any karma. Whenever we engage into any karma, before engagement, we try to think about what is the outcome. What is the outcome? And when I think about the outcome, and if I see that the outcome is what I am expecting, the outcome is what I desire, then what I do, I engage myself into that action. And if I see that the outcome is not what I desire, then I do not engage into action. So my action is inspired, or my action is the result of the results of those actions, which is completely wrong. The actions are created within me by the nature and the attributes, and it's a continuous process. It's coming, and when it is coming, my work is to engage into karma without thinking about what I am going to get in return. Or when I'm doing, when I'm about to engage myself in the karma, I should not think about what I'm going to get in return, and that should not influence me. That is also the principles of karma yoga. We do exactly the opposite. Our karmas are always inspired by the results. Our karma, whenever we do a karma, we always think about the results of these karmas. Krishna says, you need to practice this. You need to practice this. You need to change. You need to change your behavior. You need to change your behavior. You need to change your approach towards your karmas. And if you can change your approach towards performing karmas, you will see that these karmas, which brings happiness and sadness, which brings success and failure, these karmas which till now would bring you happiness as well as sadness, but they were all transitory. They would bring you success and failure, but that is also transitory. And you are always in a state of this rolling motion, undesired motion. Always, you cannot stop. But when when you become separate from the karmas, from the results, then you see that this success or failure does not have any meaning for you. You have attained bliss. You have attained peace. Always in your heart you will feel peace, you will feel bliss, while you engage yourself into karma. Okay, so this is what karma yoga is all about. So the last one that we had the last verse that we were in the last evening, it was Durena Hyavarang Karma. Yes, Durena Hyavarang Karma, Buddhir Yoga Dhananjaya. Buddho Yukta Jahatiha Karma Bandhanam Prahasashi. That is, you know, no. Durena Hyavarang Karma, Buddhir Yoga Dhananjaya, Buddho Sharnan Vicha Kripana Falahetava. That was the last one. That is, the karmas that we do, our day-to-day karma, is far, the knowledge which Krishna is talking about, the knowledge of the self, and the realization which we have, the experience which we have after we have realized the self. This is much far away from this day-to-day karma that we perform. This day-to-day karma that we think to be the only truth. When we realize the truth, the real truth, then we see the reality. The reality is much beyond what we think reality is all about, our daily life. Durena Hyavarang Karma, Buddhir Yoga Dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, this karma is far away from the space where where there is knowledge in reality, Buddho Sharanan Anvicha. The man who have realized the self, he is always humble. He's always surrendered. Why? Because he knows that everything that is happening through nature. This is not my karma. This is not my nature. I am not performing any karma. This is what is happening. And the kind of karma that is happening through me depends upon the work that I have already done in my past. So, I cannot change that. The past is past, it's gone. But the karmas that I have done in my past, these karmas are bringing the results in the present. So whatever I am going through in the present is all about, my past karmas. So he becomes humble, he becomes surrendered, because there is no way that we can go out of it. The only way to get rid of these results of action is to, remain attached with the self. Yogastha Kuru Karmani, that is what he said. Yogastha, always remain connected with the self, always remain connected with the knowledge. If you are not connected with the knowledge, at least have this, this perception that I am the knowledge. At least have this perception always in your mind. If you see that you cannot experience knowledge, you have not experienced knowledge, you have not realized it. So how can I remain connected with that? The only way to remain connected with that is to have this perception all the time that you are that knowledge. You are that supreme existence. You are the self. If you remember this in all your day, then you will see your behavior and your day will become completely different from what it was before. Okay? So Durena Hyevaram Karma, Buddhir Yoga Dhananjaya, Buddho Sharanan Anvicha. A person who has realized the self is always surrendered, is always humble. Kripana Falahetava. And the one who is hankering for results, who is going for results, who is thinking about always what I'm going to get and what I'm going to get, who is always running after the results of the karmas, he forgets the very purpose of his life. So that is what we were, in our last class. So from now we'll start. Buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe shukrite dushkrite. This is one of the very, very important verses of Lord Krishna. He is giving us a new outlook. He's giving us a new outlook about our karmas, about our actions, as well as the relationship of the actions with the results, with yoga, or the supreme accomplishment of life. Yoga means our supreme accomplishment of life, our union with God, our unity with the super conscious state. Our being into the super conscious state, our being with the supreme consciousness. This is yoga. So this verse is, is a relation between this karma that we do, this day-to-day karma that we perform, with the supreme attainment, the supreme goal, and that is yoga. Okay, so he says that buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe sukrite duskrite. The karmas that we perform with our best of intention, though it has the best of intention, all the karmas are not good karma. There are many karmas which becomes, bad karmas. There are many karmas which we perform, unconsciously, and they become bad karmas, and they bring bad results to us also. When sometimes you see that your mind is very disturbed, your mind is very, very, very perturbed, sad, and you don't know what is the result of this sadness. You don't find any reason why you are sad, or you land up into a situation when you see, why you don't find the real reason why I am into this situation. These situations are all because, of the past bad karmas that has happened through us, knowingly or unknowingly. People sometimes they perform bad karmas knowingly, and there are many people who perform bad karmas unknowingly, but because they are attached to the doer, because they think that I am the doer, that is why they have to bear the results of those karmas also. So here it says, Krishna says, buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe sukrite duskrite. You can get rid of these good and bad karmas. You can get rid of these good and bad karmas. There is a way, because we have to know that there is no way that we can get rid of karmas, because it's all within our system. So because we cannot get rid of these karmas, that is why we cannot get rid of the good karma and the bad karma also, because these are all part of karmas. So if that is the case, then there is no way that we can get rid of this cycle of karma. We cannot get rid of the cycle of karma, because we cannot get rid of good or bad karmas. We cannot get rid of karmas. But Krishna says there is a way to get rid of the cycle of karma. And what is this? Buddhir yukta, by being connected with knowledge. When you are connected with knowledge, that is the time when you can get, when you can separate yourself from all the good and bad karmas. Now, how to get connected with knowledge? How does knowledge happen? How does this manifestation of knowledge happens within our heart? Because we are carrying this knowledge within our heart from eternity. It's there within us. So because it's there within us, there is no way that we can manifest it, because we are that. And if that is not spontaneous, then there is no way that we can do it. But there is a way. What is the way? We have to go to a guru, a master. And the master, we have to listen from him. We have to listen from him about my own nature, about my real nature, about who I am. Listen from him about the knowledge of who I am. Then I have the perception of that knowledge. I have the perception of the knowledge. Till now I knew that I am the body. Till now I knew that I am I am these karmas. I am the mind. I am the ego. These are the things that I knew about myself. Okay? I did not have any other reality in my life except this reality that I am the body. Except this reality that I am connected to this world. I am connected to the people around me. I belong to them and they belong to me. This was the reality. This was what I used to think. But when I go to the master, my master tells me that you are not at all connected with the outer nature. You are not at all connected to the world. You are not at all connected with the people around you. And not only that, when you see your body, when you see your mind, when you see your intellect or your ego, you are not connected with them also. You are separate from them. You are beyond them. So when I listen to him, slowly, I attain the perception of that knowledge. And when I attain perception of the knowledge, then only I can realize the knowledge. And that is called, buddhi yukta, getting connected with the knowledge. Now the question is, what happens to a person? What happens to a person who has not yet realized the knowledge, who has not yet connected with the knowledge? What is going to happen to him? Is he not going to, is he not capable enough to perform karma yoga? Because we are going through karma yoga. In karma yoga it says buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe shukrite dushkrite. The only way by which you can get rid of your good and bad karmas is by connecting with the self. But if I am not connected with the self, how can I get rid of my bad and good karmas? And if I not get rid of my good and bad karmas, then I cannot get rid of this cycle of karma. And if I cannot get rid of the cycle of karma, then I cannot become enlightened. So what is the way by which I can become enlightened? Without, when I am not enlightened, what is the way? He says, if you have not yet connected with the knowledge, if you have not yet connected with the knowledge, the only thing is that always have this firm resolution in your mind. Always have this firm resolution in this mind that you are the self. This should be very firm within you. Okay, this should be akhanda brahmakara vritti. It should be very firm. It should not shake. This resolution or this conclusion that you have in your mind about yourself, that I am the self, this conclusion should not shake. It should not shake. It should be very firm. In whatever condition, in every condition, whatever condition in which I am, in whatever condition in which I am the self. I am the self. I am not this what I see. I am not this what I experience. I am the self. So if I can have this firm conviction, if I can have this firm conviction that I am the self no matter what, if I can have this firm conviction, that is also considered to be connected with the self. That is also considered to be connected with the self. So buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe shukrite dushkrite. The only way by which you can get rid of your good and bad karmas is by remaining connected with the self. So if I am not connected with the self, I should have this firm resolution always in my mind that I am the self, and then I should engage into these worldly activities. Whenever I am in the midst of all, I'm in the midst of activities of the world, I should have this firm conviction within my mind that I am not the doer. I am not the doer. Who am I? I am the self. I am the witness. I am the self. I am the witness. I am the one which is projecting the doer, and the work done, and the work in progress. I am the one which is projecting the doer, the done, the work done. I am the one. Okay, I am the one who is providing this energy, this consciousness to the doer. I am the one upon which the doer is existing. I am that substratum. Okay, if you can have this firm conviction in your mind all the time, then you will see that you can break the chain of karma. And if you can break the chain of karma, that is called karma yoga. You reach to the state of yoga. Okay, so he says, buddhir yukta jahatiha ubhe shukrite dushkrite. Only by remaining connected with the self, you can get rid of these good and bad karmas. Then he says, what he says, Tasmad Yogaya Yujaswa. And that is why, O Arjuna, I am directing you, I'm telling you, that is the only reason why I'm telling you to get engaged into this yoga of karma. Because only by engaging into this yoga of karma can you get rid of all this cycle of good and bad karmas. Can you break the chain of this cycle of good and bad karmas. So that is why I'm telling you, oh Arjuna, completely devote yourself totally into this karma yoga. Why? Tasmad Yogaya Yujasva. Why? Why? Now he says, Tasmat Yogaya Yujasva. That is why I'm telling you to devote yourself into karma yoga. Why? Yoga Karmashu Kaushalam. This is a very, very revolutionary statement of Krishna. If we can understand this, it is a revolution, in human history. He says, Yoga Karmashu Kaushalam. What is yoga? Yoga means the supreme attainment of the self, the supreme state, the state of super consciousness, the state in which I become united with the supreme. I am that supreme. But see how, he's relating to that state with what? He's relating to that state with the skill of performing actions. Yoga Karmashu Kaushalam. The skill of performing actions is called yoga. Yoga does not mean meditation. Yoga does not mean spending, hours and days and weeks into spiritual practice without knowing what is going to happen. Yoga does not mean to retreat from this world and getting a saffron robe and retiring into one ashram or any monastery, or going to Himalayas or a cave, living in the cave. It's not yoga. It's not about yoga. The real meaning of yoga is when I know the skill of performing actions. That is called yoga. What is the skill of performing actions? That means I have to know that the way I perform actions is not at all skilled. If that was the skill of performing actions, then I would have, attained yoga far, before. I have not attained yoga. I have not attained permanent peace. I have not attained supreme peace or bliss. So, I cannot say that I am acquainted with the skill of perfections. So, what is the skill of performing actions? The skill of performing actions is this. Number one is when you are performing any action, you have to practice it and then you have to see it. This is 100% true. This is 100% true. I have practiced in my life, and I have seen that every word that has been spoken in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna is 100% true. Whatever I know about it, I have not, I don't know anything much about Bhagavad Gita. A little bit, I know a little bit of that. Whatever little bit I know, I have seen that all these words are 100% true, 100% genuine. Okay? And they bear results. They bear exactly that what has been said. You don't need to be satisfied only because they are the words of God. They are the words of the Lord. It's not like that. You will see that you have attained what has been said there. Okay? You have attained. And when you attain that, you will know what is called supreme peace. What is called supreme bliss. These are just words. Peace, bliss, love, calmness, silence, stillness. These are all words. But when they become a reality, then only we can know what is the meaning of them, what meaning they carry. Okay, so the first principle of the skill of performing action is this, that you need to only work. Every time we have work in front of us, every time I talk to somebody, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm cooking, every time, whatever work you are doing, whatever work you are performing, never think about what you are going to get in return. You can do something for something, but don't expect that. Don't expect that. If you cannot get rid of the results, then okay, I am doing this for this, but while I am doing this, don't expect that this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This may not happen also. This may not happen also. You don't know that what is the course of this. What course. Sorry, we had some connection problem. So you don't know what is the course of action it is going to take. So any expectation might not be fulfilled. Why? Because you might get more than what you have expected. So don't expect while you are performing any action. This is the first number one point of the skill of performing action. That I will only perform action, but I will not think about what I am going to get in return. This is number one. You need to be very, 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 very clear about it. You have to practice it every day, because we are used to always think about the result, so you will forget it. While you are doing it, you will forget it. But you have to be diligent. You have to remain, you have to remain careful. You have to remain careful. In the back of your mind, you should always keep a check on you while you are performing actions, that you don't get indulged into the thought of the results of the action. Your thought, your whole focus should be here. How to perform this action better. How to perform this action better. Don't think about what I'm going to get in return. This is number one. What is number two? Number two is whenever I am thinking, whenever I'm thinking about karma, at that moment, I think about, or I imagine what kind of result I can get. And while I imagine that this is the result I get, and when that imagination meets the requirement of my expectation, that makes me engage into a work. That is, somebody tells me to do something simply, to explain it simply. Somebody tells me, can you do this for me? The first question I ask him, what will I get? He says, you will get this, this, this. Okay, I will get this, this, this. Okay, I will do it. So this karma is not inspired by this person, that he wants it. He wants this work to be done, and I can help him. This karma has not been performed in this way. How did this karma perform? How did this karma have been performed? This karma has been performed by the results. Okay, I'm going to get it. So because I'm going to get it, I will do it. So this karma was inspired by the results of this karma, which should not be. Whenever I have a karma in hand, I should do it without imagining what kind of result I am going to get. Without getting influenced by the result. Without being influenced by the result, I need to just complete it with full devotion. So this is number 2 point. Number 3 point is, I should not be indulged into inactivity, because I will not think about the results. So I have lost this inspiration of performing actions. So when I lose my inspiration of performing action, I become inactive. So this should also not happen. Though I should not think about the result of the actions, but I have to remain vigil. Number 4 point. Number 4 point is, while I am performing action, I have to know that the person who is performing action is not me. I am the supreme. I am the self. I am the knowledge. I am infinity. Because every karma is performed for fulfillment. Every karma is performed for to attain fulfillment. Because I have some kind of shortfall. That is why I do something. I do my karma. But because I am already fulfilled, I am already complete. So I am not the one who is getting engaged in karma. This doer is not me. How to know this? I have to remain connected with myself. I have to remember who I am all the time. Soham, 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 sa aham, sa aham, sa aham. Sa means he, he, he. He is, okay, really, just wait. So, sa aham, that is he. Sa means he, and aham means I. I am he. I am he. I am he. That means I am not this one. I am not this one. I am not this one. This one is working. This one is going through this life. This one is born. He is going to die. This one has problems. This one suffers. This one becomes happy. This one becomes attached. This one becomes angry. This one becomes greedy. But I am not this one. I am that one which has no qualities as this one, who is beyond all these qualities, who is divine, eternal. Who is divine, eternal. Okay? I am that one. I am that one. Always you have to remember this while you perform actions. That I am not the doer. This is very, very important. I am not the doer. So how I am not the doer? How I am not the doer? I am not the doer because I am the self. I do not have any incompleteness, any unfulfillment. I am the one who is fulfilled always. I am the one who is fulfilled always. I am not unfulfilled at all. Okay? So because I am not unfulfilled, that is why I don't do karma, I don't practice karma, I don't engage into karma. This karma is been done by the nature. It's been done by the mind, body, intellect, ego. They are the one who is doing this karma. I am not the one. I am the projector of them. They are all working because of me. I am the real existence. I am the real existence. I am that knowledge. I am that light. I am that light which is enlightening all of them. I am not the mind. I am not the body. I am not the ego. This karma is performed by ego. This is not me. This is not me. I am the self. So always, while you are performing actions, you should always remember this very, very clearly. Yogastha kuru karmani. Yogastha kuru karmani. Remain in yoga. Remain connected with the self. And then you perform actions. Remain connected with the self. Who is the self? I am the self. My real nature, which is not this what is manifested here, which is not this which I know. I am beyond this. So this is another principle. While you are performing actions, always know that you are the self and you are not the one who is performing this action. Okay, so when and then numbers, then the next point, the next point is that the results that the karmas brings to you, they will be either good or bad, either expected or unexpected, either happy or sad. So when it's happy, we become happy. When it's sad, we become sad. When it's happy, we need it more. When it's sad, we don't need it at all. We run away from that. So we have two kinds of behavior with these two results. Krishna says, whatever result your karmas bring, whatever results your karma bring, never treat them differently. Treat them to be the same, because the sameness is called yoga. When you can treat everything to be the same, that is called being in yoga. Yuri, I'm coming, just coming. There's a story about one saint who came to Dakshineshwar. But he was a saint of a different kind. He used to remain dirty. He used to eat, stay with dogs. He used to eat with dogs, stray dogs. Present in India, you will see many street dogs which are very, unclean, very untidy. But because he knew that everything is God, so this dog is also God. So he used to eat with the dogs. He used to eat where people used to leave their leftovers. So he used to eat from there with the dogs. So one day he came to Dakshineshwar, where Thakur Ramakrishna used to live. People saw him and they were, oh, what kind of dirty man he is. But Thakur Ramakrishna knew that this man is not a ordinary man. This is a great saint. It's a very, very, big saint of a high quality, high spiritual quality. So he sent his nephew, go and take initiation from him. Go and receive some mantra from him, so that your spiritual life can start. You can start your spiritual life by the help of this great saint. So when his nephew went there, this saint will never give him any initiation. He just ran away. So when he was running, when the saint was running and his nephew was also following him, so he could understand that he is not interested in giving initiation at all. He just wants to go. So he let him go. But when, he said, just requested, he prayed that, okay, if you go, you can go. But before going, tell me something. Tell me something. Then the man, then the saint, the great saint, he turned back and he said that the day you see the water in this sewer, the water in this drain, to be the same as the water in Ganga, that day you know that you have realized the self. Here is also this case of sameness. The water in the sewer is the same as the water in Ganga. We consider Ganga to be divine, holy river. But he says that this divinity, it is holy and unholy. The day you can see the same in the holy and unholy, that is attaining yoga. Okay, so that is also one principle, one skill of performing action, that whatever results they bear, your actions bear, they should always have the same treatment from you. They should not be different, as far as treating them or accepting them is concerned. These are the skills. These are the skills of performing actions. If you can, okay, the one that Yuri was saying, don't get attached to inactivity. How do we get attached to inactivity? Because we are used we are programmed to think about the results. The results always inspires us. They offer this spark by which we can engage into action. So when the spark has been taken away from you, that no, you should not engage in action by thinking about the result. You should only perform your actions. So when that spark has been taken away, there is a possibility that you do not do any activity. That is, you become inactive. And while you become inactive, staying inactive, you become attached to inactivity. And if you are attached to inactivity, what will happen? Your whole system will be covered by, will taken over by tamas, darkness. Tamas, the most inferior, quality, tamas. That will take over. So you will not attain yoga, you will attain completely the opposite of yoga. That is, you will just fall under a pit, a dark pit. So to stop you from that, that is why it says that you should not be attached to inactivity. So Krishna says the skill of yoga is called, the skill of performing actions is called yoga. So we have discussed about the skill of performing actions. Apply them in your life. Apply them in your life one by one. One by one, apply them in your life, and you will see that just by moderating this, the way you perform actions, your mind will become quiet, calm, serene. This knowledge which is within, which is unmanifested, it will come out, it will start coming out, it will be bhauschept, it will come out. Suddenly, all of a sudden, you will see that you have started to get a glimpse of that reality, supreme reality, which is unknown, incomprehensible, which cannot be, which cannot be manifested at all. That reality has started to reveal itself on its own. And thus, this karma, these karmas, these actions will lead you to yoga. Okay? And this is called karma yoga. Okay? Thank you very much. Today we'll meditate for some time. If you have any questions, like you have, or the way you send me messages, you can send me messages, and I will reply to you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the support that you are giving me, for this work that we're doing in Varanasi. It's really overwhelming. It's really, means I'm very thankful. I'm really grateful to all you kind-hearted gentlemen and ladies. Your love, your support is enabling us to perform our job, our service in Varanasi. And when we see people, smiling, when they receive the packets, a smile comes out of their face, and that smile is more than, it's even costly than $1 million. And we could do this because of your support, and that is why I, on behalf of International Vedanta Society, I thank you, and I convey my gratitude to you all. Thank you very much. We'll meditate for some time, and then we'll disperse. Thank you.